Hey coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. Real quick before we get started on a version of a short yardage Wildcat offense that I think a lot of rec league coaches and youth level, junior high, middle school would love to do maybe as a everyday offense, and maybe some high schools would love it as a change-up offense or just as a short yardage. But before we get started with that, let me tell you about some of the things that we got going on. I've been speaking this summer. It is the summer of 2021. Those of y'all watching this 100 years in the future, it is getting toward the end of the pandemic, and we've opened back up, and I have been going and visiting and traveling and giving some motivational talks to some schools. I've done some installs with some high schools, some of the very things you see on the Coach Chip page here on YouTube. And also, I've started a new thing. For years, I've had a database of all the football playing schools in the Southeast, from D3, NAIA, all the way up to the big boys in the SEC and the ACC, all the way out a little bit past the Mississippi River. I don't get into Texas much because they tend to stay, in Texas. But I've got all the Mississippi junior colleges. I've got the Kansas junior college. That's as far west as I go. And, and some of y'all may know, when we were at Lynette, the 11 years I was there, we signed nearly 30 kids to play college football, ranking from the big boys in the SEC all the way down to some, your Shorters, your Faulkners, your Huntingtons, and things like that. And everything in between, some Samfords, some Jacksonville State, some Troys, and some UABs. And we did it using this database. And what we do, that the kids make their video, and then we would send it off. And, and everything else had to be solid and good. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer that, now that I'm semi-retired, I'm going to offer that as a service of Coach Chip, $25. Send me your video. If you're not sure where you think you go, or where the kid goes, is he D2 or whatever, heck, I'll send them to all of them. It's like 300 of them. Counting the lesser schools, it's 200 and something schools, or maybe it was 300 total emails, addresses on the spreadsheet. And but every football playing school, college-wise, in the Southeast, from all the way down to the schools on the southern coast, the southern tip of Florida, all the way up to Maryland, Virginia, and Kentucky, will get a copy of it. And we have, the bigger schools use a service. But every now and then they have those analysts, those young GAs that look at it and go, hey, this kid's worth looking at. And they find that diamond in the rough. And a lot of recruiting services charging you like $350, $400. And I'm not going to make the video. You make it. Hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com, siegel.chip@gmail.com. Okay, and we'll talk specifics. Also, you make that first video like you had a really good 10th grade year. And you want that video to go out to all the colleges. And that's how we did it. As soon as the kid made film and had some good film to send out, we would tell them that's not really good, And I'll tell you how to do it. How do you stack them, all the good ones, toward the front. And because you're not making a movie for Hollywood building to a grand finale. You got to get their attention right off the bat. And I'll help you with that too and give you advice. And then we'll send it off. And then if you're going to make a halfway through the year, so that's after your 10th grade year, the kid's 10th grade year, and we send it off. Well, then midway through the junior year, you make a halfway video, $10. And then at the end of the junior year, make a compilation of his entire junior year, $10 more. Piece of cake. The hard part was making the database, but I did that starting years ago and just updated it. And it takes sometimes a few hours, sometimes a few days. And I didn't do it last year because of the pandemic. So it was really, I had to go through the whole cockeyed thing. But I was surprised, especially at some of the smaller schools, how little turnover there was during the pandemic. But anyway, let's get to what you tuned in for. This is a Wildcat offense, okay, that was inspired over the years. I've seen several schools do different versions of it. I would tell you the names of the schools, but some of you guys from all over the place have never heard of them anyway, but they're big name schools here in the South. And they'd get in it as a change-up or as a short yardage thing, a Wildcat, put a big fullback back there or a tailback back there and take the direct snap, take the quarterback out. And I was looking at it and talking to a coach a few weeks ago, and I said, man, I'm sitting here watching this, and I said, I think I got a whole offense out of this. And the reason I like it, it's an easy teach, it's an easy install for the lineman. Okay, at some point there's going to be a link that's going to pop up during this video that's going to show you how to get to the severe angle blocking video I made, and also I'll have it linked down at the bottom. But it's real easy for the lineman to install. Okay, and it puts all the the moving parts, so to speak, are done by the running backs, the 4 running backs. So it's kind of a combination. You may say, "Oh, you stole that from Tim Murphy and his ugly gun or whatever." No, I didn't really. I really got it from guys that got in these short yardage things with the 2 movable backs, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, without any further ado, let's get started. A version of Wildcat short yardage. All right, here we go. Here you see my trusty My Just Play program. It's worth it. Go to myjustplay.com. All right, this is the short yardage package I was telling you about. As you can see, and by the way, no defense. And you'll see why. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the defense is doing. Cross my heart. Okay, and you'll see that. The line is doing, all they got to know is I'm going to block the first thing to my left or the first thing to my right. But you can see right here, you've got a 9-man surface, so to speak. Now, I know these guys are in the backfield. The defense got to count for these cats, okay? So you got all these gaps. And then right before the snap, you'll shift. They'll shift over to here or out to here, and I'll show you that in a moment. And these guys will shift as well. And I've come up with there's 2 or 3 basic plays that I've seen pretty much everybody do, and I've kind of dreamed up some too. All right, let's look at it after we shift. And whatever your snap count is, what you'll do is you'll like set, shift. And then you'll shift, and that's where it's kind of Notre Dame box, kind of boxish, the way that Newt Rockne used to do all that shifting in the backfield. And you shift real quick, get set, snap the ball, and go. And the defense is scrambling to get lined up. Okay? So you can see how they shift. All right, let's look at the next one. Now, the shift is made. This is just a base power, for lack of a better word. I know there's no pulling guard. There are no linemen pulling on this. Look, it's all severe angle blocking. See in the comments below for a link to severe angle blocking, a video I made, and you say, what is that? And no matter if you're a spread team that zones, okay, or if you're a gap scheme team be easily adapted to this. And there's no pulling. All you got to do is make a call. And I'm just going to make one up. Let's say Liz, okay? That tells the line that that when the ball's snapped, they're going to block down or block out, as you can see over here. They are going to block the first thing to their left. Severe angle. Means go flat as you can go. Make the linebackers play over the top. If you go severe angle and you get no down lineman, you'll eventually get to a linebacker on that angle. See right here? You'll eventually get there. Okay? And so there's really no learning. If you want to do it to the right, you make like a rip call. And I'm just making that up. All right, and you just block down. And these guys here are blocking out. Very almost flat, somewhere between flat and a 45-degree down step or out step on the backside here. See, these guys have shifted over. You're getting a J block, as I like to call it, on the DN. He's leading up through here, wrapping, okay? And then the F is leading up through here, getting the first thing that shows. And then the tailback goes kind of flat a little bit, let the blocking develop, and bam. And you probably could just run that sucker straight downhill, just like that, okay? Just catch it and go. Now, everything is pretty much off tackle, okay, because you're just totally because a lot of people, when they see this, say, oh, we're going to fill up the backfield, we're going to blitz you blind. Well, if your kids have got any gumption about them, they're just going to block down and drive whatever's in that gap next to them. They're just going to go. And remember, it's a short yardage offense or a 3 yards and a cloud of dust offense. All right, let's look at another one. Now, what you can do is you put one in per week, okay? So when you get in short yard, you're not going to, if you're using this as a change-up for short yardage, you're not going to get in it a lot. Now, if you decide, like I said, this is a great rec league or youth league offense, in my opinion, okay? I go, on social media, I'm in a lot of Facebook pages, and I see these guys coaching 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, and they're trying to run spread offense. Why? And I know the spread, and I run spread. I run spread stuff, okay? Got 2 state championships running spread stuff, okay? But do kids that young really need to be doing that? You know, they need to be learning how to block and tackle. And I've always said that one of the best offenses to run in the youth leagues is like the double wing, power bone, full house T, because you can misdirection. It's easy to teach blocking schemes. And the kids are learning how to block, and they're getting success. And I want to see somebody tell me how you're going to teach a 9-year-old a zone block, inside or outside zone. But you can teach his fanny to down block. All right, that's why I like it, okay? You can hit me up at siegel.chip. We'll talk more about it, or you can comment down below. And it's not that I don't like the spread. Y'all know that. A lot of the stuff on this channel is spread. But kids need to learn to block and tackle. And when you're doing this in practice with the youth level, the junior high and below level, when you're doing your 11 versus 11 scrimmages, both sides are getting blocking and tackling. Okay, the defense learn how to tackle. Somebody says, well, this is smash mouth football. And I don't know why it is smash mouth football, but to me, this is a safer form of football. Think about it, guys. Would you get in the ring with Mike Tyson at his prime, or would you rather get in a phone booth with Mike Tyson? That's before he showed us he would bite your ear when he got close. But you understand what I'm saying. Reducing the game to a phone booth type game at the youth level, to me, restricts injuries, okay? And by bringing them in close, and the collisions are from a closer space, you're throwing, digs across the middle at 10 to 15 yards, and a safety or a linebacker knocks a kid's teeth out. That ain't going to happen in a power style offense as often because they don't get that running start. There's not any open field stuff. All right, so back to this. You've already put in your power. You've ran it. You got in it 2 or 3 times, let's say in week 1. This is if you're doing it as a change up. And so this time, instead of shifting, you snap it to the fullback, to the F. There's no quarterback. And now you're running sweep. If you're a zone team, a spread zone team that runs outside zone, you just tell your kids to block outside zone left. And if you're not, and whatever you use how you teach to block a wide sweep, whatever your jet or whatever, however you teach that, you use what's already in your system. You're not having to put anything in for your linemen. And if you don't have severe angles, it's not a tough install. You're talking about you can teach the lineman severe angle in about 5 minutes of ID time. Okay, and then when you work this, whatever day you work, your change-ups, your short yardage, if it's high school, maybe Wednesday or Tuesday, and then you say, all right, and all you got to do is make your call. So here you got your down blocks, and you got your 2 blocks and your sweep blocks, whatever you do. Okay, and you see he's out here doing this. All right, let's go to another one. All right, if you like the buck, we got the buck, okay? This time when you shifted your 2 power backs, your blocking back and your wing back, is what I call them, B and W. You can call them whatever you want to call them. And I made this up just by watching other people do stuff and seeing other things. And shout out to John Ward, who taught me a lot about the single wing about 10, 11, 12 years ago, the good doctor. Again, this would be your Liz call, let's say. Everybody's blocking down to their left on the front. Look, no pullers, but you're running buck with no pullers. Okay, your wide wing right here is blocking down. Your blocking back is doing your kick out. And then your F is wrapping through, doing the backside guard's job on the buck. Please, don't be in my inbox. I know that ain't really a buck. The original buck was run out of a single wing, and one of those blockers was a back. All right, this time, both of them are. So you get a kick here. Okay, and you're getting your wrap here, and you're stretching the defense. We also put the sweep into the right, okay? So now they don't know, is it sweep or is it buck? And so when the F and the T are both going flat, looking like they're going to go outside, you're stretching that defense, and then you're banging that thing right here just like buck sweep, and you got your kicker, and you got your wrapper, and you're just blocking everything down, just making piles right here. Just making piles. I love it. All right, let's go to another one. All right, now you're week 4 or 5. You've ran several different things. You've ran the power. You've ran the sweep. Okay? Maybe week 3 or 4. Time to put in a counter. Again, everything starts over here. And you can eventually, if you got some smart kids in the backfield, you can see how the defense is lined up. And if they know you're shifting and they don't line up to honor these guys when they're pre-snap over here, snap that thing and run that sweep. Okay, just make a call. All right, so you make the call, shift. The blocking back and the wing shift over like it's buck. The tail and the fullback shift over. Tailback is now getting the direct snap, and he takes off like he's running buck, going flat, and does an underneath handoff like a double handoff to a jab stepping F who comes back underneath and runs counter right here in the B gap. And you got the blocking back kicking, and you got the wing wrapping. Again, no lineman pulling. That's why it's great as a change-up for high school. You don't have to teach the lineman any new blocking. And to me, I think it'd be a great offense for a youth league team, junior high on down. All right, now here's a power weak. If they don't honor what you do pre-shift, you've got this right here where you don't shift. The wing, who's on the right, blocks down, blocking back, blocks down. The tailback now goes and J blocks, kicks out on the edge player right here. And the fullback, who didn't shift, now gets the direct snap and is hitting it right in here, C gap. Okay, so now you got a power weak with your fullback, and you got a power to the strength with your tailback. But this is pre-shift. You're making them honor this 9-man blocking surface that you've got in front right here. Okay, and that's nothing to scoff at. All right, this is a great 2-point conversion, a la Tim Tebow, which it goes back, I think it was a guy at TCU, was it Slinging Sammy Ball? I did this back in the 80s with a youth league team. I coached in a private school league, and the Pee-wees were part of the school program. They started playing in 4th, 5th grade. I think it was 5th grade, and they moved it down to 4th grade because numbers were down. And I was the varsity coach, offensive line coach, but it got me out of class to go down there to the elementary and work with these kids. And we ran an offense similar to this, not the same, more single wingish than this. And we put in the jump pass. And that was back in the late 80s because I'd seen it on NFL films. It was like somebody back in the old black and white days. But he would run like he's running power, come right here, he jumps up, and he throws it. Great 2-point conversion, great short yardage stuff. And look, it looks just like it. And because it's severe angle blocking, you don't have to change your blocking. Remember, all the blocking is severe angle left, severe angle right, or whatever you do for sweep blocking. Okay, left and right. That's all it is. It's a piece of cake. So this guy's going to step out like he's been doing when he's blocking on power, and then cut right back across here. Okay, they're in man because it's short yardage or on the goal line. He's going to push it off right here. Boom, come right here. That linebacker's gone because he's seeing this. He's seeing the down blocks. There's no guards to key, so they're probably going to key the backs. So when those backs are banging hard right in here, and he's coming hard right here, that linebacker coming right there. Okay? Or the safety, they're like in a 6'5" look. They're coming right here at what they think is the point of attack. Stop, jump up, throw the pass. That's good stuff right there, cuz. All right, last one and another pass. Kind of a flood concept. Again, it looks like power. So of your two backs, the better passer would be your tailback. The way I've got it drawn up, you can do whatever you want to do, okay? But the tailback is going to take off just like he's running the power, and he's going to stop and drop back. All of the old option teams that would come down the line, fake the fullback, and then back up. I used to call it the go pass back when we ran the bone, the split back veer. And he dropped back, boom. The tight end right here is going to block down, severe angle, okay? And then just run a flat, kind of like a pivot route, okay? No deeper than 5. All right, while he's blocking down, the wing coming right here, looking like he's going to kick out and runs a corner, okay? Kind of a corner. Y'all get the idea. On the backside, run the same route he ran on the jump pass, like he's blocking out. Boom, come back across the middle right here, okay? Everybody else is blocking down. Now the B back, the blocking back, is the kicker, and the F, the fullback's going to come right in here and fill, okay? And since you're blocking back like this, anything off the edge, you're going to come right here. Just tail that tailback, you know, boom. I'd say 2-3 steps, he's got to be throwing the thing. If he's looking for his receiver after he stops dropping back, it's too late. He needs to be looking as soon as he puts that cleat in the ground and drops back. If you want to know more about steps, hit me up at siegel.chip@gmail.com. Comment down below. Hey, I appreciate y'all watching. Be sure to subscribe, share it with your friends, like it. I'm told that the people that Google the algorithm machine or whatever it is registers those likes, and things that you like are the things that will come up. You know, it'll pop up on your phone. Coach Chip shared another video, or whatever it is. So like it, share it, okay? Subscribe to it, hit the bell. You'll see I'm doing one a week, sometimes more, at least one a week. I haven't done, this is Monday. I did one last weekend. And the reason why I didn't do one over the weekend, I was kind of busy getting ready to coaching in Georgia, helping with the offensive line at a small school up the road. And we started today. So I was working on getting ready for that. I love the way Georgia starts a week earlier than my old stomping grounds over in Alabama. And so we're already started with football, and we'll be full pads by next Monday. And that's one of the reasons why. And plus, I was dreaming this up. A lot of runs, I was dreaming this up. All right, look down in the comments below. I'm going to share some other links, but I'm going to share that link for severe angle blocking. This is good stuff. Hey, until next time, be elite.